Hey guys, welcome back to Boosted Gaming. So today we have another TU12 PTS build video for you. This one's actually going to be based off of the Rigger gear set. Um, it's a very fun take. It's a very unique take, and I think you guys will be pleasantly surprised. I think it's going to be one of the most OP builds unless something gets changed, and I definitely see them nerfing something. So let's take a look before they nerf it. Hey guys, so diving into this build. So this is one of the new skill builds we've built using the Rigger gear set, and you can see we've opted to go with the technician specialization for this particular build out, primarily because of the additional skill damage you're going to be able to get with this specific build. So going into the actual weapons here, we've actually opted for the test subject instead of an exotic. The test subject is a brand new high-end rifle, and what's nice about this one is it brings perfectly in sync with it. So hitting any enemy grants 20% skill damage for 5 seconds, and using a skill or damaging an enemy with a skill grants 20% weapon damage for 5 seconds as well. If you, however, have both of those going, and they're both doing damage, you shooting and your skill doing damage, those are going to increase. So the damage increases are doubled while both of those buffs are active at the same time. So if you're continually shooting and your, let's say, drone or your turret is constantly hitting enemies, then you are going to automatically be doing 40% damage, not 20. So 40 skill and 40 weapon. So huge with that gun. Going into our secondary here, you can see we've opted for just a nice little SMG, something with a high cyclic rate, just something to get you by really as a secondary. What's nice about this one is it brings future perfect. So weapon kills grant 1 skill tier for 15 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. And if you're already at skill tier 6, which we are, it would automatically put you into overcharge. So obviously that's always fantastic. Pistol, you guys know I go with a TDI card custom, primarily because of the skill tier. Even though we're not taking advantage of it, still nice to have just in case. Going straight into the actual gear though, that's what you guys are here for. We actually have the Rigger mask. So the Rigger gear set is an awesome gear set when it comes to skill builds. Think about it as a newer hardwired, except much, much better, right? So you can see the mask, obviously, as a single piece, doesn't bring anything with it because it's a green piece of gear. But it does bring skill damage as an attribute, and then we obviously put skill haste in as the mod. Believe me, though, you do not need skill haste in this build at all. You will need 0 haste, stack completely into damage, or duration for mods. Going into the actual chest piece here, you can see that I've opted for a Hannah U. This does bring skill haste. Again, it's not something that I needed, but unfortunately on the PTS, I didn't have anything else I could use for the build. What I would recommend for this one would be a Wyvern chest, because that's going to bring you skill damage, and then obviously focus on either status effects or skill damage or skill duration. Along those lines. But again, you do not need haste at all on this build. And then obviously you can see we went with the trauma because, again, this is all we had for the chest piece. One thing you can do for this, though, and I think it would be super beneficial, would actually be to go with a kinetic chest, because you're going to be stacking damage constantly the more your skills are out. So for this build, utilizing the turret, utilizing the drone, you're going to be stacking damage with kinetic momentum, and I think that would be a vital piece to have, which is why a Wyvern chest with a kinetic momentum talent I think would be ideal for this overall build as a chest piece. Going into the actual holster, you can see we've actually opted for the waveform. So similar to like what we were talking about with the chest piece when it came down to the talent that I said we should use, which would be kinetic momentum, this one actually brings with it a talent called alternating current. So the alternating current talent generate a stack of 3% skill damage on one of your skills every second, capping at 10 stacks. After 10 seconds at the cap, the stack transfers to your other skill, and the process then repeats. So one skill is always going to be doing, max damage of 30%, right? 3%, 10 stacks, and it's just going to continue to swap. every single time, which is pretty awesome. But it's a very, very interesting holster. I think this holster is pretty OP. And as you can see, that does bring skill damage, skill haste. Again, you don't need skill haste on this holster at all. At least not for this build. Going into the actual knee pads, you can see we've opted for the rigger knee pads. And this unlocks skill haste. Again, not needed for the build, but unfortunately it's the 2-piece brand set bonus that it comes with. You can see we've rolled into skill damage for the knee pads. Same thing for the gloves, rolled into skill damage. This brings the total rigger piece to 3 pieces, so now we have skill duration at 15%. And then obviously the backpack, which brings the 4-piece and unlocks Tend and Befriend. Interacting with your deployed skills grants the skill 25% skill damage for 10 seconds, and the buff cannot be refreshed. So if you put down your turret, you pick up your turret, that turret for 10 seconds will have a buff for 25% additional damage. That also goes for if your turret is out there or your drone is out there and you change who the actual skill is targeting. Or if you heal that skill, it will also apply that same buff. The nice thing about the backpack is it comes with this other talent called Rigor. Canceling your skills will reset their cooldown. Now, I think this is pretty OP, and what I said is you don't need skill haste, and that's because, as you guys can see in the clip, as soon as you cancel out your skill, it automatically resets. It doesn't matter how much of the skill was left. It doesn't matter how much the cooldown you would have. This, I think, is going to be your brand new tamper-proof build, because if you cancel out your skill, you're literally going to get it back immediately. There's no waiting. There's nothing. Even if you're doing drones, let's say, on dark hours, this is going to be the build you want to use for that, because as soon as you use it, it resets. As soon as you use it, it resets. It's really OP, guys, and I could see this definitely getting some kind of a nerf going forward. I'm hoping they kind of leave it at least for a little bit just to see how it plays out, but I think this is going to be the new go-to drone build, or even tamper-proof. Not just your skill build, but for damage, but overall, this is going to be like the new go-to for damage and everything else. As you can see here, we've opted for the turret, which is bringing almost 110,000 damage. Again, skill tier 6, so we get that 120% damage, 420% health. Our secondary is our drone. Again, that's more of a nuisance, and it allows us to kind of allow them to focus other things and hopefully not focus us. But that's it for the build, guys. That's all I got for you on this one. Like I said, this is going to be, I think, the new meta when it comes to skill builds. And I think this is going to be the one that everybody flocks to. That's what I see coming into the future. But guys, this build has been fun. And like I said, this gear set's definitely going to make everything a little bit different. For sure. You're going to see a lot of different people using this build for a lot of different content. For sure. But anyway, guys, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for checking out the video. Drop a like on it as well. Make sure to leave a comment. Don't forget, we do have a giveaway going to be coming up. We got one for Thanksgiving. That's $50 going to anywhere you guys want. Amazon, Amazon, PSN store, Xbox store, Steam, doesn't matter. $50 to you guys going to wherever you want to go. And we actually have another big giveaway coming up for Christmas, so make sure that you guys drop comments and drop subs on the channel so that way you guys can get entered in for those giveaways, okay? And also, guys, make sure to visit the link down below for our Discord, TSW. That's my fam. That's where I am always, you can always find me down there. Always looking to help, always looking to have all kinds of fun with you guys, help you guys through anything you might need. And guys, I will catch you guys in the next video. Till the next one, y'all stay classy. Peace.